Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video from the channel. I hope you all are doing very well. And today we are cutting some triticale for one of my dad's friends. I'll probably time lapse most of this, but I just wanted to make the intro video real quick. And I hope we are all doing quite well lately. Like I've said in previous, I've been doing pretty well. So anyways, I'm just in here cutting the hay, rolling it around 8-9 miles an hour, and yeah, just rolling along, clean, everything. It's good. But anyways, let's get a deep dive into this and have a good old time. Like I'll probably keep the radio off so that I don't have to deal with copyright. Might edit in some music for the time lapse. Anyways, I hope we are all having a good summer so far. I want to make a shout out to a couple of my friends that have been having a good summer. No, they do not. As far as I know, they do not have any social media, but I still want to make a shout out to them. This message goes out to Bert Hartshorn, Jaden Huggins, Richard Hoffman, and Crew Jacobson. I just want to say hi, guys. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're all having a good summer, and so far haven't had no vehicular breakdowns with any of the equipment, honestly. But we're going to finish this pass, and we're going to swap to the time-lapse. So, like I said, let's get into it. Here, momentarily, so that I can get going again. And time-lapse coming up shortly. Well, folks, we are now over 75% of the way done. So we've got this chunk of the field left, and then we're gonna jump the fence line and cut that little pasture there. And I know you're probably gonna joke around saying, oh, you missed a couple spots. Well, guess what, some bitches? This don't have AFS, it don't have navigation, okay? I'm doing this all by hand. You try doing it, all right? You figure it out, then fine. If you can do, but most of the time I'm not missing, but I've gotten distracted a couple of times. So, yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far. If you have, be sure to drop a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It helps out a ton, and you can always change your mind free of charge. But give me some recommendations. Should I start recording Farming Simulator 25 stuff? Should I start recording American Truck Simulator? Should I start recording videos on Gold Mining Simulator? Like, drop your opinion of what I should do in the comments section below, and I'll look into that. But like I said here, folks, we're just about 95% of the way there. We've only had to blow out the radiator once so far, which is good, because these fields are so dang dry and dusty that the radiator gets clear full of like the dry dust and leaves and debris and stuff, and we got to stop occasionally and blow it out. Fortunately, like I've said, it's only been once, so there's a like a thumbs up for it. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna just jump the fence line here once we wrap this up, cut that, and then we'll be on our way back to my dad's place, I'm thinking. But I'll text him before we pull out, see if he wants me to leave it here and somebody comes and gives me a ride home, or if I should just bring this back to the house, which both are fine. Like, it's not the end of the world to leave this here, and it's not the end of the world to take it down to my dad's. Now, I'm not sure what he's gonna say, so yeah, he might even have me drop it down over at our local Valley Implement here in, like, the Elwood area. They say it's Tremont, but it's really Elwood. Yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed so far. Like I said, be sure to drop a like down below if you're enjoying what you're seeing. And if not, let me know what I'm doing what I'm not doing that you want me to do, or what I'm doing that you want me to stop doing. Now, like I said, just keep that up. Now, if you're wondering what our setup has been today we have used a New Holland H8080 and a Case IH the New Holland is the machine we're running, the swather we're running. Our swather head is a Case IH RD163. Now, I believe the way it's like a rotary mower is, or like the way a mower is set up, at least for Case, the lettering is like what it is, because there's more than just these rotary mowers that we have in front of us. There's also like the sickle bar mowers. It's the big, long, wide 45-foot drapers. But I'm pretty sure the RD stands for rotary, and then the 1.6 is for the width, because I know this is a 16-foot head. And then the 3 is the generation, I believe. So that's what I think. It's kind of like the John Deere, like more modern stuff, like the frame size 7, horsepower, stuff like that. I was gonna say 540, but that's like 8RX. Might be. Oh, it might be the 9RX. It might be the 9RXs. I don't know. I'm not in the Deere game. We're in the red and blue equipment. It's really only this. Like, we don't even have a blue machine. We got the red of New Holland. That's about it. Now, I hope you guys have had a good day so far. If not, I hope this video has helped cheer you guys up. But I think we're gonna wrap it up here today, or maybe not, actually. I'll keep going. And if any of you young lady, like 12 to 14-year-old girls, are watching this video, let me know if you're from around like northern Utah, like within Box Elder County. Let me know if if you're going into either 8th grade or just going to the Bear River Middle School. Let me know, and I will see you guys come the Monday after the county fair. And yeah, like it looks like we've only got a couple more passes to go, and then we're gonna jump the fence and cut that. I actually might check with the owner and ask them if they want that cut, because I heard them talking about it, but I also don't know for sure. So we're gonna check before we jump over there and do that. So let me know if you guys are in the farming industry. What first of all, what kind of farming do you do? Is it more of a grain or is it more of a grain farm setup? Is it more livestock where you cut your own hay, or is it something in between? Yeah, drop a comment below. Let me know what that is. How you do it. Yeah. I want to make a shout out to some of my fellow YouTubers that I am actually related to, matter of fact. I want to make a shout out to Maverick Seacrest, or like I said, whatever his channel is. I'm not sure what it is anymore, because for some dumb reasons, YouTube banned other accounts of his a couple of times, which doesn't make sense to me. But they also sent me a video or an email saying that one of my videos got made to like adult content only, which makes no sense, because they said it was like self-harm topics and blah 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 blah. There was no self-harm in that short. It was me calling out the person that was going around calling me fake country at my school this school year. That's at least what I heard through the grapevine. That there was some kid that was doing that stuff. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to the final pass. I'm going to cut the video for a minute and let you know what we are going to end up doing. If we are going to go and cut this pasture to the north of me or not. So, just hold for a minute, please, and I will be right back. It's been confirmed, ladies and gents. We are going to cut this small pasture here in front, kind of like in front of me, but also to the right of me over there. And then we are going to go kind of back to the east a little bit. There's a little small pasture that the owner, Nick Hawks, wants me to do. So if I mention like Nick, I'm talking about the owner. Just a heads up for you guys, because I'm not gonna just go and say like the owner all the time, because that doesn't make sense, in my opinion. But if you are wondering what that sound is, that was me just starting up the swather head and the PTO. I got the PTO running loud, I got that PTO running nice and quick. Now we're gonna drop the head here once we get through this gate, because I don't want to mess up here. And down we go with the head. We're gonna knock this little pasture out real quick and move on to a different spot. Now, I've always been a little unsettled being this close to that big old canal, because I don't want to be responsible for knocking this swather in there and getting hurt or anything. So I usually have my dad or somebody else open up, like make the first lap around these fields. But since I just came down here in the swather, my dad brought a separate vehicle. He actually took off earlier, probably because my stepmom had to go into work tonight. So he had to get back to watch my 2-year-old sister. So I've got to, I guess, yeah, if you want to say, grow a pair of balls and cut this completely myself. Yeah, that's a good enough way to say it. Now, as you can see over there, there is a few goats right there. Now, from what I've been told, there are not any goats in this pasture, thankfully. So we're still gonna be nice and careful in case a few snuck through the fence somehow. But it also doesn't make sense how that works because of the chicken wire. I don't think a goat could fit through that. Maybe a kid, but not a goat. Not a full-grown goat. You know what? A kid was like a baby goat, not a kid like a human child. Okay. Now we got to be careful here because we're right up along the fence, and I don't want to clip that fence with my back tires. For those of like city folk that follow me, or people that aren't very educated in how a self-propelled swather works. Your steering is actually up in your front 2 tires, and it's just like a matter of the joystick here and the steering wheel. And all the steering wheel really does is like apply some brake force to that tire, if that makes sense. Now, here we are. We've just completed the first lap around the field, or what we call the first headland. Now, we're going to flip a 180. Hopefully not put this in the canal. Like I said, hopefully. Oh, we got space. We're going to have to be careful, though, and drop her down. And we're good. And we are back on the other lap. And since this pasture's not terribly big, but also not the smallest field I've ever cut, we're gonna make the usual 4 headland loop around the field. And why we do 4 headlands instead of just like 1 or 2 is so that when we come to bale this field, it's not a pain in the butt to get turned around in. Because you don't have a self-propelled baler like the Vermeer round baler. We use a good old-fashioned Case LB 434 large square baler. So that's why we're not making only like 1 or 2 loops around the field. We are also going to rake this with the raking setup I talked about, that I'm probably going to talk about in a different video. So yeah, as you can tell, this bitch is dusty. It's a challenge to see, like, I gotta actually stop for a minute and see. Okay, we're good to lift it up. I didn't want to leave a little bit. I didn't want to leave anything of being uncut because of the dust. So we had to kind of do that. Now we can kind of not zip, but zip along this spot and everything. As you can tell, I kind of left some, like a couple feet of space over there. Not my best moment. I could have come a lot closer. But like I said, I also am not new. Like I did the headlands 1 year on my own on a small bit pasture like this. But it was not this same pasture, so it's a little nerve-wracking for me, but also good experience so that I can eventually be able to run the swather myself. So, yeah. And go. That is headland number 2 in the books. Now, like I've said, as you noticed, I left some clearance on that canal bank because I didn't want to go diving off there. And then over in those two sides, I got closer because I felt like I could do better. Now, yeah, like I said, okay, if I've said this once, I've said it 100 times. I'm still new to the opening of the fields. Now that it's like the second and third headlands, it's no big deal. But now that, yeah, now that it's opened up like this, it's no problem at all. But when you're making that first headland pass, you're also either right up against a fence, right up against a ditch bank, or right up against something, okay? So we do that and be kind of careful about it. And if you're wondering, why did you make like a straight loop with no picking up of the header on your outside loop and only your outside loop? I am not sure why I do that. My dad does it, so I just follow his example. And I know you're probably gonna ask, wouldn't that make it kind of harder to pick it all up in a rake? Yes, it would kind of, but it's also, like I've said, no big deal. And if we need to make a lap or two back around the field, no problem. Like it's just part of the job. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have, like I've said, gotten this sucker knocked out. I came down here like this afternoon, maybe one or like I left where I was originally cutting, like a couple, maybe 10, 15 miles to the south of where I'm at now. And came up here to cut the fields, and I've managed to knock it all out in one day, which is super. Okay, that's great. I'm happy. I hope everybody's happy. I will try to post more, folks. Like I've said in a video that I have not posted yet, some guy did comment on like my Undertale meme short saying to post more. I hear you, folks, okay? It's going to be easier now that we're getting into like more into like the farm work part of it, where there's days spent in the cattle tractors just working. So that was my big issue with posting more, was that I also would run out of content eventually. Now that we're into the days in the cabs of the tractors, okay, I'm okay. Like, it's not a big deal to make longer videos and post more. I do know that I put out the poll a while back saying like make long videos. I also don't have any GoPro system or anything like that where it could make the like digital or like the videos go longwise across your guys' screens. I could try to get my phone to do that through like editing of the videos on like my so since I have an Apple phone, I can like rotate the video itself. I could try and see if that will work, and if it doesn't, I am sorry, guys. I really am not trying to make it harder for you guys, because or not harder, okay? It's not that hard. I'm trying, if I can get a GoPro system or something like that, then maybe then I'll probably start doing it that way. Or if I start like doing the American Truck Simulator, like the video game posting, okay? I can get it to play long, or play like widescreen instead of tall screen, you know? And now here we are. We have just finished the 4th headland, and now we're going to start making the down and back passes. Now, really, the down and back passes don't matter which side you start on. It's just, and it doesn't really matter the direction you go on the dry ground when you're like disking or seedbed making it. But when you're cutting it, it's going to be so much more bumpy to go against where the crop has been seeded, and it doesn't. So this crop was seeded east to west and west to east, except for the headlands. So I'm going to run down this side so that I don't have to make a long drive back across to the gate when I'm done. I'd prefer to be by the gate when I'm done so that I can just pull out and drop down below. And if you're wondering, like, why have we only seen those 3 other guys in your, like, dance shorts? That is because we're all busy doing separate jobs, and usually my dad, like I said, it will only open up the outside round of the fields for the swather, and I don't, when we're like getting into the raking and baling part, so that we can get the job done quicker, I will usually jump on the rake while he jumps on the baler. So it's just easier for us to do it this way. And like I said, we've just been going. And if my account on YouTube my account was set up where I could go to live broadcasting, I would probably do a lot more like live streaming of this hay cutting and the hay raking. But it don't work that way, which is aggravating to me as much as the next person, okay? I do apologize for that. So it's just going to be long videos like this. It might be 45 minutes of me just cutting hay or raking hay or stuff like that. So instead of like a live stream. So I am sorry for that, guys. Like I said, for the spots where I'm time-lapsing, I can see if I can edit in some music for you guys, like from some of my favorite artists, like Luke Combs, Luke Bryan, good old Jason Aldean, good old Tim McGraw, them guys, and then I can add in some music from some other people, or from some other like new coming artists, like this new artist I found named Maddox Batson. You guys have probably heard of him. I'd be amazed if you haven't. He's got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Somebody I would not be super surprised if you haven't heard of her name is a girl named Hadley Grace. That is what her, that's at least what her Apple Music name is. I don't know. Those 2 are my main, like, favorite, like, my age artists, like, teen artists out there. But I also like good old classic country, like C.W. McCall, Hank Jr., Old Waylon, Willie, Toby Keith, good old George Strait, Chris Ledoux, all them folks, okay? I'd do that. And it's going to be a couple different artists that I use. I might even use some music like the Rental Man Buck uses. Like, I might use some of the songs from Will Harrison's collection, like The Red Clay Road that Buck played a lot. Baptized and Buried is a song of his that I like. I got a good lot of songs from him that I like. So we might end up putting some of his music in just to help pass the time. And yeah. Um, I'm also going to make a shout out to both Maddox Batson and Hadley Grace. I like I just started listening to you guys. I'm already hooked to you. Maddox, my favorite song from you's gotta be I Need a Truck. That's a really good one. I like it. And Hadley, my favorite song from you, it like fights evenly between Little Different and Moonlight Mud Tires. Both songs are cool to me. I like them all. I like all your guys' songs that I've listened to. Um, yeah, and both to both of you artists, I hope you guys keep gaining popularity, more and more popularity, and become big time artists that play on every country station, like Ella Langley, like artists like Ella Langley. Okay, I if I was like on the highway patrol, I'd be looking for you guys. Okay, since I've listened to you guys on Apple Music, I like your guys' music. I would probably try to get you guys onto channel 56 of the Sirius XM radio, which is the highway, which is like brand today's new country. So, like I said, like that's some good stuff, okay? And you might notice in the time lapses, it might be really, really quick, so you don't notice as well. But I was playing music through my earbud while like time lapsing, and you could, if you kind of watch, I don't know how fast the time lapses are yet. I haven't stopped long enough to look at them, but you might end up seeing me sing songs from the Charlie Daniels Band, good old Kid Rock, a couple of them others. I was singing Real Gone, Simple Man, Legend of Woolly Swamp. I wasn't really singing out Amarillo Sky because that was playing as like the intro that was playing through the earbud at the intro. And like me hearing that music made me think I may as well just start recording and do this. So I hope you guys have been having a grand old day. And to you, another question to you agricultural people. If you like run cattle on big old several thousand acre range ground, what kind of horse trailer do you use? Or like what brand of horse trailer do you use? I'm curious. My family's ranch has two trailers. One is a Wilson. They're both gooseneck trailers, so they hook up like via the in-bed hitch. Okay. We have both a Wilson ranch hand and a big bed and an 18. So the Wilson ranch hand is a 24-foot aluminum, and then we have a nice beige colored big bend trailer that's 18 feet long. Technically, it only has 16 feet of like livestock transportation. It then has a 2-foot white dog. It has a saddle box or tack box and two dog boxes, which is so nice when we're going to take them dogs somewhere and we're using my dad's nice truck where we don't want them dogs jumping out of the bed. So the dog box is a very valuable tool to us. And as you can see here, folks, we are finishing up on this pass here, and we've finished this field. So I'm going to cut the recording for a minute while I figure out where this pasture is at that Nick told me about. So, like I said, folks, I will check back with you guys in a few minutes and let you know what, where we end up going. I might pause on even doing that and blow this window and my back mirror out, or my back window out, so that I can see better for blowing. Or yeah, like take this leaf blower we got in the cab here with us and blow it out. But this is gonna be the spot where we pause for a little bit, folks. So just 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in this pasture down here where we're cutting right now. So this is gonna be our last field for the day. But since I didn't really have a good outro with the previous clip, I'm gonna have our outro here. So if you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking and subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Now, just go right ahead and yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. This here's Riot. We're 1010 on the side, and yeah, currently southbound and down. We gone. Bye bye.